Hello, this is Gaming Empiritrix, and today I want to give you a very basic tutorial on how to play Dwarf Fortress. I'm currently got version 0.40.24. I am using the Lazy Noob pack, which you can download. Well, just search Lazy Noob pack. You'll probably be able to find whatever current version exists. One thing that you do need to know about playing Dwarf Fortress is that you really should be playing with the Dwarf Fortress wiki open in another window. I cannot show you that at the moment, but that is precisely how I always play. The very first thing you're going to want to do is go to Create New World, which you will probably have at the top instead of Continue Playing, as you will probably not be continuing playing. Creating a medium-sized world on this computer, which is not the newest computer in the world, I think it's 10 years old, takes about 15 minutes, so we're going to go with small. I think my husband said that takes about 2 minutes. What you can see, I hopefully got my mouse pointer showing. Okay, this is the map that we got going on over here, so this is the world we're going to be generating. I know it looks like a bunch of crazy ASCII symbols. That's because it is a bunch of crazy ASCII symbols. I'm currently playing with a graphics pack, the Phoebus, I think, graphics pack. Let me check out my Lazy Noob. My Lazy Noob, tell me what graphics pack I am using. I think, yes, Phoebus graphics pack. There are a lot of different kinds. But you won't see it on the map. Usually you use arrow keys. Sometimes you use the number pad, because that's easier if you don't have a number pad, like you're playing on a laptop that doesn't have a number pad. You can get away with shift and trying to hit all of the symbols and so forth on your actual keypad, but I definitely do recommend that you have a number pad, because it's kind of, every once in a while it'll start asking you, like, say, use 8, 5, 4, 6, and 2 to decide what to do, and you'll be like, okay, I gotta try and in my brain map where would the 8 be on a number pad, and it just hurts. So I believe that it stopped generating history in the year 250, which would suggest we're almost there, and indeed it hasn't taken as long as I thought it would. Thank goodness I bought a Phenom 2 processor instead of the Athlon I was considering a long time ago. On the map, I believe that the yellow spots are jungle or tropics, or I think that these red spots are sand and desert. I'm gonna guess that this is either a desert or a swamp over here. Okay, our age is ready. I'm gonna guess that this purple is an evil glacier, the rest of it is a normal glacier, the blue is obviously ocean, these pointy things are mountains, the little turquoise things are rivers, so it's really not as confusing to look at as you might think. We're gonna push enter to accept, as the instruction down here tells us to do, and it appears that Usnus Slozgo, the Ageless Universes, has been created, which is quite nice. We are now offloading units. We got a nice FPS counter right here. We are getting 400 SPS or 412, depending on what this means. The offloading units takes time. Everything in this game takes time. Loading things takes time. Generating things takes time. Having a million dwarves takes time. Everything takes time. Make sure you have a... Oops. Hold on. Okay, I just noticed that my second timer on Bandicam stopped working, so I'm gonna guess I was breaking up. Can't check the recording now to find out, but, what was I going to say? Yes, I believe I currently have Dwarf Fortress set through the Lazy Noob pack to take up higher processor priority, though I don't know if that's helping. I do it because this game is just heavily processor intensive. So we're gonna go to start playing now, and we're just navigating with the arrow keys. Again, good reason to be playing on a PC. I'm gonna hit start playing. We're gonna do, let's see, whatever the hell. We're gonna play Dwarf Fortress instead of Adventure or Legends, because this is a Dwarf Fortress tutorial. Again, it's gonna take a while to load. Looks like my second timer is still going up normally. Okay. So I don't know if you can hear me clearly, but right now what is going on, it is processing the events leading up that the game will start on. Which elephants traveled where? Granite is apparently our first month of the year. And we are heading out sometime during granite. So here's our map in the center. You can probably recognize it from earlier. This is it zoomed out a little bit more. These two maps would doubtless look somewhat different from one another if we generated a much larger world. And here we can see a local distribution of what each of these little, let's call them hexes, despite the fact that they're not hexes, look like. I don't know why, because there's an X. X, it can't be square, it has to be hex. Because of X. No, I know my never mind, okay. So let's go find out what these things are. I'm just using my arrow keys to look around. And according to this, these are a desert. They are, in fact, a joyous wilds desert, as you can see over here. We're looking at this information. What I can see about this is that we have sand, which is good for making glass. We have little soil, which means we still should be able to plant things and have dirt and be able to have mushrooms underground in our dirt. And then we have a flux stone layer, which suggests that we have something like marble or something that is good for creating steel, but we have no information about any metals that might be here. I'm going to guess that means we have to dig down pretty deep in order to find any metals or caverns or so forth. It's the joyous wilds, which tells me that there's going to be unicorns or other fae or some nice creatures living nearby. The vegetation is scarce, trees are scarce, and it is very hot outside. Here we have the Scarlet Dunes, which are untamed wilds. Untamed wilds is just, there's going to be lots of normal creatures, not really unicorns. We see shallow metals, deep metals, a flux stone layer, little soil. This is a pretty nice place. No aquifer. I haven't seen an aquifer yet, and I'm on 2 deserts, which is kind of impressive, especially given that this is a, okay. Now, you'll see something appear down here that says View Biome. Biomes have different stats. So we have the Azure Dunes, and then we have some other biomes. So we're going to hit F2. And it looks like they are just 2 different parts of the Azure Dunes, and they're pretty much identical, so we're not going to worry too much about that. I'm going to look at these red dunes. So the Desert of Humility. We have no aquifers on this. This is great. Oh, there's an aquifer. Okay, so an aquifer is a layer that's saturated with water. And a layer that's saturated with water can actually be very difficult to get through. You have to set up all sorts of machines and stuff like that. So if the layer saturated with water is above the primary rock level, where all the metal is going to be, you could be in a lot of trouble, as it will be difficult to get your fortress started early. Picking out where you decide to settle is actually a very... It usually takes me a very long period of time. I have to look at everything until I decide to embark somewhere. And then a lot of times I embark with the wrong things anyway and end up dying. So let's see. There are a lot of deserts on the eastern side of this place. Okay, what we're looking at right now on the local side, you can see this is some sort of building or something like that. Don't know anything about it. Mountains, which you'd think dwarves would love to live on, that is a volcano. Someplace is a volcano. Or just a really awesome mountain. Mountains which you think dwarves would like to live on cannot actually be embarked on because there isn't any place stable enough to... It's like not reachable. There's like no road or something like that, I'm assuming what the problem is. And these like lesser mountains can't be reached either. So the only way you can embark on these really steep mountains is if you look around at the edges of the mountainous areas and you try to find an area like right here where really steep mountains overlap with a different kind of biome, and then you'll see that the embark icon down here at the bottom, this E, suddenly becomes available, whereas previously it was not. Right now I am moving my little selector around. This is like basically selecting like where exactly do you want your map to be in this greater hex. I'm still calling it a hex. Where do you want your map to be in this greater map? What subsection of the map would you like to live on? And you can see down here, the embark goes gray when I'm completely on the mountains, and it goes white again when I have some... What is that second biome? The Pointy Merc. The Pointy Merc. This is not a terrible place to live, but this is just a tutorial on how to get our shiz. What is this? Look, it's like there's a... What is this? Wow, okay, this is a fortress of some kind. I think. Some sort of dungeon or something. Anyway, we don't need to be there right now. This is the Pointy Merc. We're still in the Pointy... Let's go check out this... I bet you this is an evil glacier down here. Oh, yes! Evil field. It's haunted, as we can see up in the right-hand corner. We have sand, ice, deep metals, fluxstone, no aquifer. This would actually be a really kind of awesome place to embark on, although you can, of course, see that we have no trees, no vegetation. It would be kind of awesome. We'd be fighting undead and shiz, and it'd be badass. But we should probably start someplace simpler. Someplace with floofy elves where everything is beautiful and filled with sunshine. I never do that, by the way. It's just not fun when things aren't trying to kill you. And since I usually don't play this game past getting like too many people, I need a lot of action early on. Okay, Courteous Forest. The Cooperative Merc. The Water of Boarding. The Contested Forest. Alright, is this a volcano? Oh my god, I think there's a volcano. The Rags of Slunning, whatever that is. The Swamp of Galleries. Oh my god, I have never, unless I have specifically generated with volcanoes, seen a volcano on the world map. Enough that I could pinpoint where it was. Wow. It's beautiful. But there's an aquifer. I guess I could do hilarious things with magma that would get me through the aquifer. And there is a lot of really cool stuff there. But I feel like I should start someplace like that you are more likely to see. Okay, this is haunted. That's kind of cool. Prairies of Trouble. The Prairies of Trouble. Haunted, haunted, haunted. Sinister! Ha 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 ha! Terrifying is the worst. Haunted is in the middle. Sinister is like, okay, we're evil, but lots of shit doesn't go down here on a regular basis. Terrifying is like, the undead are after your souls at all point in time. Oh my goodness. So, very rarely, I don't want to embark on the volcano because I feel like the odds that you are going to end up with a volcano on your first map gen are just unlikely, but at the same time I want to get to show you all the cool things you can do with a volcano if I don't embark there. Oh. I guess I can always abandon the fort later and... Clay, very deep soil, shallow metal, deep metals, fluxstone layer. This is a simple place to show you how to do simple things. Oh god, do I embark on the volcano or not? I want to. Alright, you know what? We won't use it immediately. Maybe I'll show you how to pierce an aquifer with a volcano. Just for shits and giggles or something like that. Oh. It's just unfair though, because if you have magma, you can do a lot of other things faster that you usually... Okay. For this tutorial, we will embark someplace other than the volcano. We can always come back to the volcano later. So, I don't want to. This looks like, what is this? This is like inhabited lands or something like that? It looks like there's... Okay, scorching. It's a little hot out there. Okay. So... I can't help it, we're embarking on the goddamn volcano. Let's do this thing. Bam! Okay, embark. Yes! Salt water might be very difficult to survive here. Aquifer, very difficult to obtain stone here. Got it, let's do this challenge. Okay, we're gonna go down to prepare for the journey carefully, which is the second one. The first person we're gonna need is a miner. And we're probably also going to need a woodcarter / carpenter. We'll have both persons on the same task. We are going to need... since we have the... I can do anything I want because I have magma. God, I don't even know what we're going to need here. Oh, okay. So basically what I'm doing is I'm over here, I'm like, okay, here are my people. I'm going to have 7 people. I'm getting too excited. I'm getting ahead of myself. Over here we have the professions that they can have. There's tons of professions. Some of them are more important than others. You're always going to probably want a miner. Otherwise nobody can dig dirt. That would suck. The second one is, since we're starting in a wooded area, I'm getting somebody who can both cut wood and work with the wood. Usually you might want those things to be different tasks, but here I'm fine with it. The next thing is I am going to, since we have a volcano at the surface, I'm going to assume we're going to be able to hit obsidian, which is valuable shiz. One thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to get through the aquifer, and I'm not entirely sure how that is going to work yet. So I am going to want, because I know we'll have magma, I'm going to bring a potter. I'm going to bring a glass worker. Because I know we have clay, and I think we have sand, if I remember correctly. If we don't, then, you know, whatever. I'm sorry. Okay, and then we're going to keep going down. Potters work with clay, glassmakers work with sand. I'm going to go down here, and we're going to need somebody who's going to be able to trade. So we want an appraiser, because he's going to be, whoops, we ran out of points. Down here you'll see that we had a limited amount of points to spend on our dwarves. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit tab. Go from this, you see we have dwarves, and we hit tab, we go to items. Now, that steel anvil we do not need. Why do we have a steel anvil? It's crazy sauce. Give me an iron anvil. Okay, what I did right now is I'm going to hit N for new. I get this list of new shiz. Oh my god, we only get to have steel anvils. Okay, well that's too expensive, so we just won't embark with an anvil. I don't need 2 battle axes. I'll bring 1. I'm using the plus and minus keys. As you can see here, copper battle axes is going from 2 to 1. And I just got a shiz ton of more points to spend. If we look down here under points, I now have 375. Now I've hit tab to go back to my dwarves. Tab items, tab dwarves, tab items, tab dwarves. And you can see with my arrow keys, I'm over here, and I can bump that competent appraiser up to a proficient appraiser. Wonderful. Now I think this is my potter. Let me check. I'm using page up and page down to skip more quickly. This is my glass maker. He is going to be my record keeper, also an important position in the fortress. I'm looking at my next dwarf now. I'm using the side arrow keys to go from list to list. So here we go. I'm on my next. I'm on Izum, who has no job yet. Here we are going to say, well, we don't really know what's going to happen. So we don't know what we're going to need. So I say that we need at least somebody who can do some basic growing and stuff. Basic growing and stuff. Yes. And I don't really need a wood burner because I'm starting on an area with magma. My next person, I don't really know what we're going to need. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring a mechanic. I'm going to bring a mechanic / mason. Yeah, that's what I'll do. And if he's not important, we'll just employ him fishing or something like that. Okay, so where is mechanic? Mechanic! Okay, so we got a mechanic, got a mason, our very last person. You know, I've never really gotten the whole animal leather industry going, so that's not going to be part of the lesson I teach here. We'll make that a secondary concern. You know, I'm not entirely sure what we're going to have available initially. I'm just not. I don't know how deep we're going to be able to get, or whether or not we're going to have the rocks we need to build a lot of stuff. I usually don't bring any people who are proficient in weapons, which is kind of retarded of me, but there you go. I'm almost tempted to grab another miner, even though I know it's not going to be the best decision I ever make. So I think I will. Let's grab another miner. And you know, some of the dwarves I doubled up by giving them separate professions, and some I'm like, most likely I'm going to use them for whatever their intended purposes are. Let's cross our fingers and hope we can get through the aquifer easy. Which is not always the case. At all. But we're bringing our mechanics, so hopefully that'll go well. Now I'm using tab again. Tab to go for dwarves, tab to go back to my items. I'm looking at everything we have. I'm going to bank on not getting maimed immediately, so I'm getting rid of those things. Wheelbarrow. Do I want to bring wheelbarrow? No, because we're not embarking any place particularly sinister, and I'm bringing a carpenter, so he's probably going to be able to make these things. Okay, we just freed up a lot of points. Enough that we might be able to get that anvil back, but I don't think we're going to do that. Okay, so, well, I'm going to remind you again how we get new items on this little list. Because I obviously just deleted some items, but now I want to add items back. So I'm going to hit N to go to new. To get out of this menu is escape. Look down here. This says N new. Okay, N new. All right, what do I want to bring? Well. I am glad you asked. Stone. We're going to bring stone, because we're not entirely sure. And I believe if I look at the Dwarf Fortress wiki, Gabbro is magma safe. I'm going to look really quick. Dwarf Fortress wiki, Gabbro. Ignis intrusive, ore of nickel, magma safe. Okay. So we're going to bring magma safe shiz along with us. And we're going to bring a lot, because we have no guarantee we're going to be able to get through that aquifer, and we may need rock for whatever reason. Then, I don't really know what our condition is going to be, so I'm... Tab items. I'm going to bring just a little bit of wood. I'm sure we're going to be fine, but, you know, in an emergency situation, it's cheap. Let's bring 10 things of wood. And then, okay, these are my dwarves. I'm sure that we're in a heavy area. It's going to be fine. Notice that there are more than one screens. I just kept going down, and now I'm down at an entire extra menu. We are going to bring a bit of sand. Yeah. We're going to bring some red sand, and we're going to bring some white sand, and then we're going to bring some... There's absolutely no reason whatsoever to be bringing so many different kinds of sand. Black sand. And then we're going to be bringing yellow sand. Let me see, how do you make, what is pearl ash? I'm going to ask about different kinds of glass. Pearl ash. Potash. What's potash made from? Ash or lye? Okay. So let's see, red sand, white sand, black sand, yellow sand. There's no reason to have so many different kinds of sands. I'm just crazy. Okay. We're going to want more bags. And then, last but not least, we are going to want... we're going to want some doggies. We're going to want some kitties. Oh no! Okay, fine. Less bags. I'll survive. Actually, I do not need... Do I need ropes? No, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna bring more of these. I'm gonna bring more cloth. We'll do with the cloth whatever. Okay. I'm gonna bring some cats. And then we are going to bring... What animal do I want? What animal do I like? Poults, bunnies... Goose! I want to bring geese. 1 gander, 2 goose. Yes, that sounds fine to me. I like this arrangement. I've got enough animals. Alright, let me make sure there's nothing I've forgotten. Clay. Silty clay, sandy clay, clay loam. What are the different kinds of clay? Pottery. I'm going to look at pottery in my wiki, because this is how you play this game. You play it with your... Aha, so to speak, potter can make ceramic bricks, craft items. Note that using kiln to collect clay requires iron, pottery skill, glaze. Glaze. Glaze is a special coating that can be applied to stuff to make them water safe. 2 types of glaze can be applied, ash and tin glaze. Oh, it's good to know. Good to know. I brought the sand because I'm sort of hoping that... the glass will show up in bags, but I'm not entirely sure that will happen. So that I'll get extra bags. I don't think I need any of this. This is all too sophisticated for me. Miscellaneous. Lye. Potash. Coke. Charcoal. Alright, we're good. So we just need to blow the rest of these points on something. So I'm going to bring a little bit of cloth in case we need something. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll go up and... Hello, I'd like 9 plum helmet spawns. And what else would I want? I don't know. Maybe some more rock. Probably not. It looks like we're going to be fine. Maybe we should just bring an interesting animal along. Or more dogs. Can never have enough dogs, really. Alright, fine, we'll have 4 dogs. Why do we need 3 quivers? Who knows? Who knows? We're just adding in random shit right now. Yay! Okay, we're done. Let's name our fortress. Down here we can see big F and big G. Name fortress. Static whips. 2 random names. Bent traded. Mountain contained. Mine dimpled. Polished boards. Prices standard. We are Teshkad Lord Ban. Prices standard. Excellent. What is our name of a group? The Modest Crypt is the name of our group. We are the Modest Crypt. It's fine. I'll take that. Let's embark. Little E right here. Let's embark. We got our dwarves. We got our supplies. Let's embark. Alright, we have just arrived. After a journey from the mountain homes into the forbidding wilderness beyond, my harsh treks finally ended. My party of 7 is to make an outpost for the glory of all Moses Regalth. There are almost no supplies, but with stout labor comes sustenance. Whether by bolt, plow, or hook provide for my dwarves, I am expecting a supply caravan just before winter entombs me. But it is spring now. Enough time to delve secure lodging ere the dingoes get hungry. A new chapter of dwarven history begins at this place. Teshkadalorbam, price is standard. Strike the earth. I just hit enter. Alright, well, first we have a giant thing of magma. Okay, this is open space, so people would have to actually fall into the magma.